All right, folks. Now, this is a news report from last week, but nonetheless, it is absolutely interesting. I don't think it got a lot of attention. And what is even more remarkable than that are some of the implications that are tied to this. Now, let me read this to you. It says the senior Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps officer was killed in Syria, and Israel reportedly was not involved in this. Now, this is interesting because this is a report that came from a Tehran-based agency. They're called Mehr. If some of you have not heard of them, many of you have, because you've heard some of my reports where I've reported some of the things that they've actually said. And this man, General Al-Jani, was a member of the IRGC ground forces, and the Mehr news agency, which of course is owned by the Islamic Ideology Dissemination Organization, describes Al-Jani as a military advisor. It's kind of interesting how they put a spin on that. He was actually a senior leader, but they did not provide any more information. Now, I want to read this portion of this article because it's interesting. It says, according to the Times of Israel, the state of Israel is not suspected to be behind Al-Jani's death, even though Israel is believed to have carried out several airstrikes in Syria earlier this month. Now, in August, Israel reportedly bombed Iranian targets on the northeastern outskirts of Damascus, hitting several outposts belonging to the Iranian-backed terrorist organization Hezbollah, according to two Syrian military defectors familiar with the region. Now, this is very true. We've been reporting this. We know about the attacks that Israel has made upon Syria, really targeting proxy forces like Hezbollah and other people related to the IRGC. And in essence, what that is a proxy war between Israel and Iran. But what's even more interesting about this article is the report says that this attack actually happened a little bit after it was leaked that Iran has now stopped their demand to keep the IRGC off the terror list as they've been negotiating with the United States. Now, I don't know how true that is, but what is very interesting is it would seem as though the United States of America is working hand in hand with Iran to come to some kind of an amicable solution, which there is no such thing as an amicable solution until Iran is completely illegitimized and disabled from doing what they want to do with Israel. But what makes this even more interesting is the fact that it looks like we are headed down a road where in order for the United States of America to do what they're doing with Iran, there has to be cooperation with Russia. I'm telling you that, guys. So all of this rhetoric that everybody is saying that Russia is done and Ukraine is going to have their way, and the United States, as well as many of the allied forces, as they would call them, is effectively having their way with Russia, no way. Not true, folks. Understand Russia is strengthening their positions as a result of these discussions, and I can promise you the demand of the IRGC to actually have their name removed off of the international terrorist list having been dropped is a result of something going on a back channel between Russia, the United States, or some other European entities. I guarantee you that, and I can also tell you that Israel has to be involved in that in one way or another. All of this to say, we're moving towards Ezekiel 38. I almost said Exodus 38. We're moving towards Ezekiel 38, and it's something to keep our eyes on, folks. Very interesting story. We'll fill you in as more developments come, but this is exciting stuff. We know Jesus is coming soon. God bless you.